chop all these siege tanks now. Those drones really desperately trying to run for their lives. There's Wednesday Night
vVv gaming. I wonder if Time goes for one of his ladder builds. He's got that +1 Zealot with the Void Ray build. Always like to see as the game's about to start here. We'll see what we have underway.
Yeah, so game 2 between vVv Gaming and Revoki, it will be a Protoss versus Zerg on Metalopolis. And as Matron did mention, Time does have a lot of interesting builds against a Zerg player. That +1 weapons upgrade with Void Rays, and then just a lot of just different types of openings. We can see Time spawning at the 12 o'clock position as the blue Protoss player. Meanwhile, on the south side at the 6 o'clock position, we see WarlockX as the green Zerg.
Yeah, fun starting positions here, very far away, so Warlock's going to feel a little bit better about getting up a quick natural and perhaps even a quick third. And we'll see if Time has some sort of plan here to deal with these long rush distances. It's going to be a little less effective to go air here compared to a kind of a west-south starting position, which is also possible here on MLG Metalopolis. So we'll see what Time goes for and see how quickly Warlock's able to macro up.
Yeah, basically taking a look at the game so far, pylons coming into play, no cheese of any sort. I believe this Overlord will quickly just gain sight, take a look, fly past, and then make his way towards Time. Metalopolis does have the ability for this open dead space right here at the 11 o'clock position, allowing the Overlord to try to fly over and eventually gain sight, perhaps catching an assimilator or some glowing minerals, knowing when his opponent does go for a third base. More than likely, though, the Overlord will just park itself at the 10 o'clock position, the high ground expansion, and then try to see when that third base is set up as opposed to just the natural expansion.
Yeah, and we see this again from Time, and we've seen it in a few games from him, PvZ, where he actually places that first pylon close to his nexus, a little bit closer to home, and he doesn't wall off against a Zerg. So if Warlock goes for some sort of fast pull here, he could get a lot of lings into Time's base. He might not be able to handle it, but right now Warlock looks like he will be going for a hatch first, as he has yet to place down any building, up to 16 drones, going for a very macro-oriented game.
Yeah, we can see that WarlockX going for the gold mineral patches at the very start of the game, and this is really interesting, and I wonder if Time is actually going to spot this. And what Time is going to see is he's going to come up he's going to come take a look at the natural expansion, see that nothing is there, take a look around on the inside of the base, not spot a spawning pool or just see a spawning pool go down, and now he has to go hatchery hunting. And I believe that WarlockX, it is a little bit of a gambit. It's going to be much more difficult to try to transfer a queen over in that direction, but your drones will be mining much more quickly, as we also see an extractor gas block on Time.
Yeah, so this is something. Time comes up there, he sees the pool just starting, he sees the gas up, and unless he knows the timing of what a Zerg should have at this point, he really needs to find those extra 300 minerals, which Warlock has sunk somewhere. So Time going to try to block that natural, but it looks like he doesn't know that that pool is definitely late, and might just now be going to scout a little bit with that probe. But if that gold gets up and running for even like 3 or 4 minutes, it could really provide a huge boost for Warlock.
Yeah, one of the things that you really want to do on a map like Metalopolis is activate the Xel'Naga Watchtower at least for like 5 seconds or even 2 seconds. The Xel'Naga Tower does give sight into both gold mineral patches, and now my heart kind of sinks as Time doesn't spot that out. Perhaps he does know about it, but I think Time is just trying to figure out what his opponent is going for at this stage and really not knowing what the long-term outcome of this game will be.
This is actually really smart by Warlock. You know, a lot of Protoss players are playing a little bit more passively in this matchup now. They're trying to get off 2 base and get a timing going, either with Colossi or sometimes Templar now, Archons. So they basically give the base, or give the natural or a second base to the Zerg right away. As we see Time just opening up with 1 gateway, now a second on the way, and he looks like he will be expanding here. So Warlock's going to be taking that free base, but he's placing it in the rich mineral patch here up this gold base. So a very smart move by him, and there's really nothing Time can do about it.
Yeah, WarlockX now sitting on 21 harvesters, but he does have an overall resource advantage at this point in the game. You can see currently not getting any gas, so he's going to continue to perhaps just spawn larva as quickly as possible and then just continue to power drone. He is going to be supply blocked if he tries to train up more drones, as the Zergling's now testing that front door. He does see a forge there, and he knows that a Nexus is also coming into play, but WarlockX could just easily expand to his now natural expansion. As you can see, WarlockX banking about 600 minerals.
Yeah, it looks like he is now going to spend it on a bunch of drones now that he's no longer supply blocked. And coming in with a lot of minerals here, it's going to be difficult for him to get a hold of those, be able to spend those just off of 2 hatcheries before these queens get up with the injection. Now we see a little bit of action here as Warlock taking on Time. It looks like Time will be the victor here. A nice force field really limiting the surface area on those units, but Warlock coming out with more and more of these Zerglings, and it looks like he's going to be taking one of these sentries down, and Time forced to retreat here, but he poked out a little bit, and most importantly, he did not get any scouting information.
Yeah, with no scouting information, especially now that WarlockX getting his 3rd base up and running soon, about another 50 seconds, and still power droning away. As long as Warlock doesn't bank another 600 minerals in the next 2 minutes or so, I think his economy will pretty much be impossible to stop, especially with those gold mineral patches in the center portion of the map. We'll see when Warlock decides to finally get even more gas and tech to tier 2. He is going for a Roach Warren and also has another macro hatch.
And Time just now sees the gold bases up with his hallucinated Phoenix, and he's going to be in trouble. There are a lot of Zerglings at his front door. He's not going to be able to push out here without taking significant losses, and it looks like Warlock's going to have the economic advantage, definitely. It is 36 to 32, but he's working off that gold, and Time has no choice but to sort of hold back here, wait on his upgrades in tech, and hope that he can do some damage in the mid game here, but Warlock is definitely at the advantage.
Yeah, one thing that is going for Time, though, is Time does have level 1 weapons upgrade coming online. He should be able to get level 2 weapons upgrade and also getting Blink as well. So the Stalker should be able to engage those Roaches rather quickly. The Roaches, you can see, now teching the tier 2 will not have the Glio reconstitution, but Warlock running off of 4 hatcheries, and that is just going to be a lot of larvae to deal with. Taking a look at the army compositions, you can see Time does have the larger army overall, but that can quickly and easily change just because when looking at the hatchery, you can see how many larvae are available and how quickly you can train up those Roaches.
We'll see if Warlock has a timing here, pushing off these 4 bases. As you mentioned, it's a lot of larvae. You can produce a lot of Roaches and Lings. He's working on the missile attack level 1, so we'll see whether he has a timing here worked out with a bunch of Lings and Roaches streaming into Time's base. Time, at this point, not working on much tech. He is getting the Twilight Council up. Blink just finishing now, and he's got a Robotics on the way.
Yeah, so he will have those Stalkers. He will be able to blink. The one Roach now running a little bit too close there, and now there is one Spore Crawler. Roach is now engaging in the center portion of the map, and you can see the Roaches trying to engage there, but it looks like Time's army is going to be large enough to hold this off, as the Zerglings finally come in to engage. Very nice use of force fields, protecting, limiting the surface area, as the Zealots now coming in, and there's the Blink, revealing the Twilight Council upgrades, and also some more force fields, preventing many of those Roaches from engaging.
Yeah, this is the timing where Time really needs to do some damage, and he's doing a nice job killing a lot of drones with these Zealots. Now might be pulling back just too many Roaches for Warlock. And if you check the food count at this point, it is 85 to 64. So Warlock, if he's able to keep these bases up and running for a few more minutes, really going to shoot ahead of Time. Time at this point, tech-wise, getting out a few Immortals, also going to be getting up a Robotics base. So he's going to try to get to Colossi as quickly as possible to take on the gold-based Zerg, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to do it.
Yeah, we can see also Time going into a couple. Yeah, those Immortals are definitely going to help against all of those Roaches, but the Zerglings may be the real issue. The Zerglings covering so much distance so quickly. Level 2 weapons upgrade coming in, as well as the Robotics Bay, and we'll see if whether or not we're going to go into one Robo Colossus or 2 Robo Colossus. As we are running off of 2 bases, it is possible to get up a lot of Zealots, as the Stalkers once again going to try to put in a little bit of pressure, but now getting caught in a really, really difficult situation, attempting to blink away, but running straight into Roaches, and Warlock getting just some free kills there.
And this is the timing I'm talking about. Warlock coming out right now. He has got 14 Roaches, 41 Lings with another 18 on the way. He's got +1 finished on those Roaches, and he's going to be able to push in here. Just the one Immortal right now for Time, and I think he could A-move at this point and take Time down. We'll have to see as he moves in.
Yeah, so it's going to become a very, very intensive micro battle now. Stalkers and Zealots are engaging. Roaches are coming in as well. It looks like one Pylon going to get focused down. I'm not quite sure why he's not going after the cannons instead, as there's double Pylons there. You can see additional gateways now warping in the back, and now WarlockX just continuing to just funnel here and push through one Immortal, and that Immortal is in a very nice position with a range of 5, able to take down those Roaches while being out of range of the Roaches. So the Immortal is getting a lot of damage there, but I think the Zerglings are going to still finally be able to overrun, and there's the GG by Time.
Wow, so it was a very interesting, gutsy strategy by Warlock there. But I think with the way this matchup works out, and Protoss wanting to get on two bases quickly and giving you almost that free second, the natural, Warlock just took it to the gold base and took advantage.
Yeah, I think it was just a really good mind game there. If Time had tried to activate that Zelnaga Watchtower, or if Time knew the timings of the Zerg players and knew that a spawning pool was missing or a hatchery had to have been placed down somewhere, I think he would have hunted for it. And I think it's just one of those lessons that Time is going to learn, and it won't happen to him a second time.
Second instance, perhaps.
Yeah, second instance.
So we'll